You really fell asleep, didn't you? I wasn't sure at first. You were still for a while, but I thought maybe you were just thinking. You do that sometimes. Go completely quiet, like you're somewhere far away, even when you're right in front of me. But this number, this is real sleep. I can tell by the way your breathing changed. Slower, deeper, like your body finally gave in, finally let go. You look peaceful, not just tired, not just still, really peaceful. I don't think I've ever seen you like this. Even when you do sleep, it's usually restless, like your mind won't stop moving, like you're stuck half inside a to-do list and half inside a dream. But not tonight. Tonight, you're here, fully here, and it's quiet. Finally quiet. You don't even know how much I've wanted to see you like this. Not exhausted, not trying to push through, just still. I keep thinking about your shoulders. They're always tight. Even when you laugh, even when you pretend you're fine. Like you're holding the world up with them. But right now, they finally dropped. Like you stopped carrying everything. Even if it's just for a little while. You're not frowning either. Do you know that? You have this little crease between your brows. It shows up when you're thinking too hard or worried or trying not to let anyone notice how tired you are. But it's not there now. You're soft, like all the noise finally turned down. I wish you could always sleep like this. I wish I could bottle this moment, take it out when you forget how to rest again. You don't have to be okay all the time. You know that, right? You don't have to carry everything alone. You don't have to hold it together just to make everyone else comfortable. If you knew how much I notice, how often I want to just walk over and say, stop, wrap a blanket around you, and sit beside you until you let yourself fall apart. But I don't, because you don't ask, because you'd smile and say, I'm fine, like you always do. And I'd nod and pretend to believe you. But not tonight. Tonight, your body said what your mouth. It said, enough and it let you sleep. And now I just want to stay here. Like that. Watch you breathe. Hold the quiet for you. Make sure nothing disturbs it. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that you deserve this. Rest, peace, and someone who stays even when you stop pretending to be strong. You never talk about it. Not really. Not the way people think you do. You're good at the surface stuff. Jokes, stories, bad day, huh? Kind of things. But the real weight, you bury it deep. I don't even think you do it on purpose anymore. It's like breathing. Automatic. Hide, deflect, smile, survive. You don't let people worry. You don't want to be a problem. So you show up on time, you carry the bags, you say you're okay, even when your voice sounds paper thin. And people believe you. Because they want to. Because it's easier that way. But I don't. I've seen the cracks. The moments when your hands shake just a little. When your smile comes too fast. When you laugh a little too quickly at something that wasn't even funny. I've seen the days you forget to eat. The nights you text back at 3 a.m. pretending you just couldn't sleep. I've seen you avoid mirrors, avoid silence, avoid asking for anything, and still you show up for everyone. Even when there's barely anything left of you. You've said so many things without saying them. Every time you stay quiet, instead of saying you're hurting, that's something. Every time you shrug and say, no worries, when your eyes say, please notice, that's something. You think you're protecting people, but all you're doing is slowly disappearing. And maybe I was wrong too. Maybe I should have asked, pressed harder, said, don't lie to me. I know what it looks like when you're fading. But I was scared. Scared that if I pushed too hard, you'd fold in. That I'd break through a wall, only to find you weren't ready to be seen yet. So I waited, watched, stayed close. I learned your silence. The way you go, still when something hurts. The way your eyes shift when you're trying not to ask for help, The way your voice drops a little when you're overwhelmed but pretending you're not. I learned to recognize the sound of you holding it together. It's quiet, but it's not peace. It's survival. And I don't want that for you anymore. You deserve better than just surviving. You deserve to rest without guilt, to be soft without losing anything, to fall apart without apology. And if no one else tells you that, then I will. Because I'm not here to be impressed by how strong you are. I'm here to be someone you can lean on when you're not. You can be tired. You can be unsure. You can be everything you don't show to the world. And I'll still be here. You don't scare me. Not when you're quiet. Not when you're struggling. Not when you feel like a mess. Because I've seen all that. And it only made me want to stay more. So, go ahead. Sleep. Say nothing. Pretend I'm not here, if that makes it easier. But know this, I see you. Even when you're quiet. Especially then. And I'm not going anywhere. You burn out so quietly. No warning, no outburst. Just one day you stop answering messages. You show up late with that same tired smile. You forget things you never forget. You look at your coffee like it's supposed to fix everything. And then you keep going, like you don't even notice it's happening. But I do. I noticed the first time, and the second, and every time after that. I remember that week, you were making more jokes than usual. The kind that sound funny on the surface, but if you really listen, you're begging someone to stop you and ask, "Are you okay?" No one asked. So I watched, waited for a moment when I could say something without making you shut down. It never came. Because you're good at hiding. Too good. You turn it into a routine. Burn out, recover, pretend it never happened. But it does happen. Again and again. And every time you come back, a little more distant, a little more quiet, like you're building a bigger space between yourself and the world. So, next time, no one will even notice you've gone. But I notice. I always notice. That time, your hoodie sleeves were pulled over your hands the entire day, even though it was warm. That wasn't comfort. That was retreat. That time, you didn't play music for 3 days straight. You always play music, even if it's just background noise. But those 3 days, silence, that wasn't rest, that was wait. And that night, when you came over and said you were just tired, but you didn't move from the couch for hours. You didn't even look at your phone, didn't say much, didn't eat. You just sat like your whole body forgot how to ask for help. I wanted to say something, to pull you closer, to force you to let me in. But instead, I made tea, left it beside you. Saturday, nearby, quiet, present. I thought that maybe if I was soft enough, you'd eventually feel safe enough to fall apart out loud. But you didn't. You went home, and the next day, you smiled again. Not a real one. The version you wear when you want the world to stop looking, and it usually works. But not on me. Never on me. Because I've seen the way your eyes lose focus when you're overwhelmed. I've seen you rub at your temple when you think no one's looking. I've seen the way you exhale when someone asks, "How are you?" Like you have to translate the answer into something socially acceptable. I've seen you crash quietly and come back even quieter. And every time I think, what if this time he doesn't come back at all? What if one day you get so good at disappearing, even I won't know where to find you? That scares me. You don't talk about it. You don't ask for anything. But every part of you is tired. Even in your sleep, I can feel it. The way your hand twitches sometimes, like you're still bracing for something. The way your shoulders pull tight when there's a sound outside. Even when you're unconscious, your body doesn't fully let go. Except tonight. Tonight, for once, you let yourself rest, and I'm not going to waste that moment. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep watch. Not because I think something bad will happen, but because maybe, just maybe, this will be the night your nervous system finally believes it's safe. You don't have to carry it all. You never had to. You just didn't know how to give it away. So, I'll take some of it. Whatever part you leave behind tonight, I'll carry it for you. I won't ask for it. I won't demand confessions. I'll just be here. Even if you never say the words, even if you wake up and smile like you always do, I'll remember this version of you. The quiet one, the resting one, the one who finally let go. And when it happens again, when I see you fading, when the weight creeps back in, I'll remember how to find you, how to reach you, how to stay, even when you think you're pushing everyone away. I keep thinking how strange it is that someone like you, someone so strong, so steady, has to do everything alone. And I mean really alone. You never ask for anything. You don't even ask to be seen, but you want it. I know you do. Not attention, not pity, just softness, somewhere safe to land. And you act like you don't need it, but I've seen what happens when the lights go out, when the day ends, when you're finally still. It's not peace, it's not quiet, it's just exhaustion wearing a disguise. And I hate that for you. I really do. I hate that the world taught you to only rest when you're breaking, that you've learned to push and push until your body makes the choice for you. You deserve more than that. More than delayed sleep and half-finished meals. More than waiting for someone to notice. More than collapsing quietly in some corner no one looks twice at. You deserve comfort before the burnout, before the fall, before it gets so bad you don't know how to come back from it. And I want to give you that. I want to be the person who notices early, who says, stop, before your voice gives out, who brings tea before you realize you haven't had water in hours, who puts a hand on your back and just leaves it there without asking if you're okay, because sometimes that question is too heavy. I want to be the one who looks at you and sees you, not the strong version, not the performing version, just you. Tired, quiet, still trying, still here, still worthy. You don't have to prove anything to me. You never did. You don't have to explain why you're tired, why your eyes look distant sometimes, why your hands fidget, why you go silent in the middle of a sentence like your mind slipped somewhere colder. You don't have to tell me, because I see it, and I'm not scared of it. I know how heavy it gets, how quiet the world becomes when no one is listening the right way. So let me be that. Let me be the quiet that holds you, not the one that leaves you stranded. Let me be the place where you get to stop pretending, where you don't have to shrink, don't have to mask, don't have to fight to be heard. I won't always know what to say, but I'll sit beside you anyway. And if words feel too far, I'll make sure the silence feels warm. Because you deserve to rest, not because you earned it, not because you broke down, but because you're human and you've been carrying more than your share. I want to build that kind of space for you, where the world gets quiet without going cold, where you're allowed to drop the weight, even if it's just for one night. And maybe I can't fix everything. Maybe I'll never know exactly what lives behind your silences, but I'll be here every time, again and again. Because I don't love you for how well you carry pain. I love you in spite of it. Or maybe because I see how much you carry, and I still believe in how soft your heart is underneath it all. So sleep. Sleep like the world won't demand anything when you wake up. Sleep like there's someone watching the door, holding the silence steady, keeping the weight off your chest. Because tonight, that someone is me. I never planned to say this. Not like this. Not ever, really. I told myself it didn't matter. That it was enough just to be near you. Enough to care from a distance. To love you quietly. But now, sitting here with you asleep beside me, with your breathing finally calm, and your face so still and unguarded, I can't hold it anymore. So I'm going to say the things you'll never hear, the things I've never let slip, the things I whisper only when I know you won't answer. You make me feel things I never thought I'd feel again. Hope, safety, the terrifying, beautiful ache of wanting something real. You make me believe there's still a place for softness, even for someone like me, even after everything I shut down inside myself. And you don't even know you're doing it. You're just kind, present, stubborn in your care. You ask how I'm doing, and actually listen to the answer. You remember small things, like how I hate loud mornings, or how I always drink my tea after it cools. You leave space for me without making it feel like absence. You treat me like I matter, and I don't think you realize what that does to someone who spent so long pretending they're fine, being invisible. I didn't want to fall for you. I really didn't. You were too close, too safe, too everything I thought I wasn't allowed to hope for. But you made it impossible not to. With every quiet act of care, every look that said, you don't have to explain, every time you stayed when I expected you to leave. I know I'm not what most people want. I'm complicated, withdrawn, too much some days, and completely unreachable on others. But you never tried to fix me. You just saw me and stayed. And somewhere along the way, in all the moments that felt too small to notice, I fell in love with you. Not in a flashy, dramatic way, not in fireworks, but in tea mugs and quiet nights, in folded blankets and songs you didn't think I'd notice, in silences you made feel safe. And I don't expect you to say it back. Not now, not ever. That's not what this is about. I just needed, for once, to say it out loud. Even if you'll never hear it. Because holding it in all the time, pretending I'm just your friend, when every part of me wants to hold you when you're tired, wants to be the first thing you see in the morning, it's exhausting. And I'm so tired of hiding. Even if this is the only time I ever let it out, even if you sleep through every word, I love you. God, I love you. I love the way you stretch in the morning, like you're still not sure it's okay to be awake. I love the way your voice drops when you're serious. I love how you pretend not to like soft things, and then keep the blanket I gave you folded perfectly on your couch. I love how you notice when I'm struggling and never call me out. Just slide my favorite snack across the table like it appeared out of nowhere. I love the way you let me exist, not as someone to fix or charm or chase. Just exist, and somehow that made me feel more alive than anything else. I know you're asleep, and I hope you stay that way, because if you opened your eyes right now, I think I'd forget how to breathe. But part of me hopes maybe somewhere in your dreams you hear me. Maybe you feel it, how much you matter to me, how long I've loved you from the quiet, how badly I want to be yours. Not in a movie way, not in fireworks, just in the way you lean your head on someone's shoulder and finally feel like you've come home. I don't need an answer. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. Just stay asleep. Just keep breathing. Just be here. Let me have this moment, the one where I finally said it and the world didn't break. Let me look at you and believe that sometimes love is real, even when it's quiet, even when it's one-sided, even when it only lives in the spaces between someone else's dreams you're still sleeping, and I'm still here. I keep thinking I'll move soon. Stretch my legs, go get a drink, turn off the light, something. But I can't. Or maybe I just don't want to. Because this is rare. You, like this, still, safe, breathing soft. It feels like if I even shift too much, the spell might break. And you'll wake up, put the mask back on. Say something like, was I out long? With that half laugh that covers everything. So I'm not moving. Not yet. Because right now, you're not pretending. You're just you. And I want to memorize it. The way your fingers twitch slightly when the blanket slides off your shoulder. The way your jaw loosens like all the weight finally let go. The way your chest rises in a rhythm I didn't realize I'd been waiting to see. This is the version of you the world never sees. The one I'd fight to protect every time, every night. So I'm staying. Even if my legs fall asleep, even if the room gets cold, even if the world outside keeps spinning faster than it should. Because I want you to wake up and know that nothing changed overnight. That I didn't slip away while you weren't watching. That I didn't disappear with your silence. I'll be here in the morning. Just like now, just like always. And maybe I'll never get to say these things out loud while you're awake. Maybe we'll always live in this almost, this in-between, this quiet space where my love stays, tucked inside every unspoken word. But I hope, I really hope, that something in you knows. Not because I said it, not because I left hints, but because you felt it. In the way I sat closer, in the tea, always ready before you asked, in the songs that only played when you needed them, in the blanket I tucked around your shoulders, even when you said you weren't cold. That was me. Every time. Not because I expected something, not because I wanted you to owe me, but because I care. Deeply, quietly, hopelessly. And I don't need a fairy tale. I don't need fireworks or grand gestures. I just need this. You, safe, breathing, still here. I'll stay until you wake up, and even after that, I'll keep finding excuses to stay. Not because I'm brave, but because I finally stopped being afraid of what it means to love you like this. even if you never say it back, even if we never speak of this night, even if all I ever get is this moment, right now, you asleep, and me still here. So sleep a little longer. Let the morning take its time. Let the world wait. Let this quiet stretch out as far as it needs to. Because I'm not leaving. Not tonight. Not when you need rest. Not when I've waited so long. Just to watch you breathe without the wait. I'll be here in the morning. That's all you need to know.